this is Liz. Welcome to my little urban homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. This episode and possibly next week, I don't know, I'll have to see how it goes, but Angela Cornice is one that subscribes to me, and she gave up on quilting a few years ago but has decided to try again with a canning mat. So Angie, you're doing the right thing. Go small. Canning mats, placemats, table runners, table toppers, anything like that, go small. And that way you can try out different patterns, different styles. And she's with her saying she was going to make herself a small canning mat. I thought, I've got one, but I could always use another one. So I wish her success. Mason again. So I wished her success, and if she needed any help, I was here. I could always do a video for her. And she said, yes, please. So that's what I'm doing. This is to talk Angie and any beginner through an easy one, very easy. So I've been through my stash and got some out, and I'm going to show you now if I can get him off my knee. As I said, I went through my stash and Angie said she was going to get some fat quarters, so I had a look through what fat quarters I'd got and pulled some out. This is a fat quarter and another fat quarter, nice and pinky. Not much for pinks, but it'll do for this. Now this isn't a fat quarter, it's actually half a yard of material, but it's not far off the size of a fat quarter. So if I only use half of this, I can see it as a fat quarter. So that's the 3 colours that I've got. So first of all, we're going to cut this. Well, I think we'll iron it first, get them all nice and pressed up, and that will help with the cutting. I've pressed them up. I've used a bit of starch as well. You can use starch, it just helps to stabilise and strengthen the fabric, I think. And I've laid these out, all 3 colours, as you can see. If you want to do them one at a time, by all means do. It's just that I've been doing these for a short time, so I feel confident doing enough. Plus I've got this long ruler, long glasses, and I'm basically now taking off the selvage that's on this pink one and straightening up the edges on the 2 fat quarters. At times I'll use a weight, which is part of an ornament, and it's a nice heavy weight, so I'll put it on there to help me. And straight down, and that's neatened up the edges and taken off the selvage. We're going to cut 2.5 inch strips. So 1, 2.5, line it up, two and a half. So if you've got a jelly roll, you'd be able to do this from that, but this is how I'm doing it. 2.5 inches again, and I think I've worked it out. How right that's going to be, I don't know, but I've worked it out. I will need 5 of these strips. That's the 5 strips. Now So we've still got some of this fabric left, so for the moment we're just going to put it to one side. Now these strips we want to sew together basically. So we have got there, so we want to sew them together lengthwise. Now I should have done something on that, but I'm going to need another strip because it's going to be too short, isn't it? I don't know, but basically what we're going to do is put right sides together and sew all the way down the long side, open it back up, finger press your seams, and then sew the next one to it all the way along. And I'll show you that when I've done it. And there we are, we've got our 5 strips of 3. Now I'm going to do these individually. I'll probably do them more than that, but we'll do it individually. And measure your block, well, your strip unit, and mine is coming out at 6, just turned 6. Which means my seam allowance isn't quite right. It isn't quite 1/4 inch, it's slightly bigger. So it's best if you measure what your strip set is. So there it is, and mine is coming out at exactly 6. So whatever yours comes out at, if you've got a better 1/4 inch seam than me, then it could be 6.5. If it's more in depth than mine, then it could be 5.5. But whatever your strip width is, that's what you want to cut. So mine are working out at 6 inches, so I want 6-inch strips. Well, 6-inch blocks. Now I've neatened one edge up, put my rule on it, line up with a straight line, go to 6 inches, and it's awkward as a little ruler. I prefer a bigger one. So that's 6 inches. Make sure you count and count twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I didn't count twice. I got it wrong first time, but the second time I got it right. That's why you count twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and cut it to 6. Whoops, if your ruler doesn't move. Now you cut it the same size. That's 6. 5, 6 again. Count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So that's right. Now I would have actually got a 3rd block out of this, but because I was using the pink, I won't be able to. So I'll put that aside. But, sorting out, did you realise, it's batting from what I was doing yesterday. Did you realise when you were sewing them strips together, you were actually making your block? Let's cut some more. Another strip and then show you what it actually looks like. Your middle stripe, whatever colours you're using, goes across, and this one goes that way. So it would have been better had me plain colour being on the corner, on the edge, rather than the middle, but it doesn't matter. And that's how it works out. On yours, your fat quarters, you would have been able to do 3 of the blocks out of a strip, rather than, in my case, it was 2 and a bit. So what I've done is cut these out, and I'm going to do just, I can't piece that in there. I'm going to do something with this anyway. And then it's just a matter of sewing each individual one to itself, and then sew. That's 6, and that's 6 and a half. Yeah, looks as though some of these worked out at 6 and some worked out at 6 and a half. Here it is, finished. I'm not happy with it, so this is going to be the backing for it, and I've dug out some more material. Are these 3. So I'm going to press these out and cut 2.5-inch strips, and then take it over to the sewing machine. I've now cut 2.5-inch strips out of these. Only this one was a fat quarter, the others were full length. So what I'm actually going to do, because I want to remember to make sure that this stronger pattern is on the outside. Now last time my 1/4 inch was out, because I noticed my 1/4 inch was completely off. I'm going to make sure this time. But all you're doing is sewing them, these 2.5-inch strips together. That's one strip on, so I'll put the next strip next to it. Now I've done that, and I've got the fat quarter cut into 5 strips, so there's 1. I've sewed these 2 onto 1 full width of fabric. Now I'm going to finger press them open, which is just basically laying them flat, and press. On this occasion I'm going to press to the darker fabric and just pull them down, and that'll help out. Now let's twist it a bit there, Mason. Now I want to keep this on the outside, so I've got some big strips of cream. So I'm going to do exactly the same and sew these to the cream strip. Now I've pressed them straight, and this time, because I've paid more attention to my seam allowance, I've got 6.5 inches. So I'm just going to tidy up one end it threw me out a bit, I think, with having that pink material being smaller. And then cut 6.5-inch strips. As I showed you, it's very good. Count once, which I have done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5-inch. That's twice I've counted. And those are the blocks. And so far, no matching corners or seams or anything like that. So basically, it's just going the opposite way each time. So one time's it's across, the next time it's down. It's showing up a lot better with it being on the outside, the dominant colour. It's all it is for your fence rail blocks. Hopefully you can see that all right. And then we're just going to sew them together. So what I do is do them two, the first two. Because I do prefer chain piecing. One, you don't have loads of ends around. Two, it saves on cotton. And three, things just seem to go faster. So we'll do that bank of 3 first. Then we'll do this bank of 3. As you can see, I've now stitched these two lots together, and I'm going to stitch the last row to it, and then these two together, obviously. So same again, just put them on, pin when I need to sew. So I'll stitch all of it together and then show you. And that's these rows now together. All we've got to do is stitch them together, and this is the only time that you will be matching seams. So we turn it over and we're just matching the corners, that's all. So let's take it to the machine. So how I do it is nest the seams so they're exactly opposite one another. This one's pointing to the left and that one's pointing to the right. Nest them together, and you can feel when they nest together. Hold it between your thumb and your first finger, and then just twiddle around so you can get your start together. And I've told you the reasons I like using these scraps. So I can use both hands on the material, on the fabric, rather than fiddling around with my presser foot. So just swap hands now, because you've still got that seam really nested well. And sew along. I'll pull this up because there's a bit of weight in it. You've still got a hold of this, your seam. And sew over it, and then find your next seam. These have got, because they've been chain pieced together, they've got the piece in between. If you want to, you can snip that apart so you can look and check, but all I do is find my seams, nest them together, hold them there and sew. Getting closer, make sure they're together. That's it, you're on it. Move to the next one. So this is the first one that I did that I just don't like it at all. It's worked out all right. Most of the seams, well, the intersections match, but I just don't like it. I did say at the start I didn't particularly like pinks, but I redid it again and I do like this, which goes to show that I'm better and I prefer more plain things. But if you get a piece that you don't like because the piecing isn't right or whatever, and this one I had to piece some of them, yeah, and I don't want that. So what I'm actually going to do is add a border on the top, the bottom and the sides to this, and then it'll be the back for this one. And so that shows you, don't think it's a waste if you do one that you don't like, you don't like the piecing, like the colours, whatever, use it as backing. This one has worked out exactly how high I'd worked it all out, which is 18 inches high by 30 inches wide, and it took 5 strips of this fat quarter, and there's more or less half of it left. So if you've got 3 fat quarters, you'd have 3 of these left that you could do the other side exactly the same if you wanted. I'm now going to sort out getting this the same size as that one.